Happy Tuesday. I'm ready. Are you? Brand new DC books are out this week. It's another kind of light week, kind of small week for comics across the board. I don't know, unless you pick up a bunch of Marvel stuff. It seemed like there's a lot of Marvel stuff, just nothing that caught my attention, nothing I decided to pick up. But a couple of DC books worth talking about, some DC news worth discussing and diving into. We'll do all that, hang out for a little bit. Run the weekly giveaway, so be sure to check that super chat stretch goal thingy. Got 4 bonus books, some cool variants, some older books, stickers, cards, all that good stuff that we'll throw in the pile if we hit that stretch goal. So let's get going. Check the link in the description to all the videos for great resources like Big Time Collectibles, Justin Comics Cleaning and Pressing, as well as the channel memberships. They're always active and live. You get the loyalty badge section and custom emojis to play with, early access to content, and all kinds of other stuff. Be sure to check out ABX Comics and Games if you need to set up a pull list so you don't miss out on any of these books or anything. Hey. Okay, thank you. Very good. I got one more. It's in my book bag. I threw it in there for safety purposes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's not used. It's just hanging out in the book bag. I'm like, I know how this goes. I'm going to throw one in here just in case. I didn't know you took my advice. You waited 7 months to take my advice. I had no clue. That was fine. It's all good. I'm glad it's working out for you. Let's say it. All right. So real quick, I need to let everybody know I have a notification on my phone from the internet people that say that they are working in the neighborhood. And there might be an interruption up until 3. What is it? 3 what?
I feel like we may have already had it because the TV.
Yeah, I saw the TV. It says up until we're actively working to fix it all until 3:05 p.m. 3:05 p.m. So it could be done, or this stream could just drop out of left field. I don't know. So if it does,
My bad.
I don't work for them. Can't help you. But that's what happened if it does. But let's see who's all in the chat already. What is going on, Scott? Good to see you in there. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Mad Respect 7740. Good afternoon, community. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're having a good one. Lisa, good to see you in here. Happy Tuesday. We got Madam in here. Madam 396. Not just any Madam. Not Madam 395. Not Madam 400. Don't get them twisted. This is Madam 396. Hello to you. Nick the Comic Nerd, what is going on? Ayo, it's Nick the Comic Nerd 8164. Hello to Nick the Comic Nerd 8164. This is like everybody's identification now that they switched all the @ symbols. I know that you can go in and you can adjust your @ symbols. I remember when they first added the @ symbols, but yeah, they're pretty funny. Like, for example, Joe 30197720008 is here with us. Good to see you. Hello, hello. See, Faith and Misery update his. Just Faith and Misery. What is going on? Hope all y'all are great on this fine Tuesday afternoon. I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Not doing bad at all. Looking forward to ending out this week and then get some days off from work. I'm really looking forward to that. I've been doing a lot of maintenance, construction, rebuilding stuff. It's a little tiring, but fun. I have comic issues. What is going on? Billy, what's up, homie? Billy Power Max 2264 is with us today. Good to see you. Ronnie Johnson, what is going on, homie? Good to see you, my dude. 23 Monch, what's up? Kenny B, hope you're doing good, Kenny B. Always good to see you in here. Let's see. Let me get down to my little thingies here. All right, here we go. Boom. We got Marty with the $2 super chat. Crypto for the win. There you go. Yeah. Phil, what's up? 3:05 seems like a very specific time. Very, very specific. They're good about specificity. They I don't know how they come up with their times, but that's what they do. And the good news is, the cool thing with it is typically they what is it? Under promise and over deliver. They always give you a time when they're sure that they'll be done by, so they don't have to deal with any of the backlash if it doesn't happen right. Oh, I love the internet system. This sounds like a job for Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Gang. Yeah. Wayne, what is happening? How are you? Also, yeah. Let's see. Streams drops just as a winner is about to be picked for the weekly giveaway. Everyone begins screaming, "No!" It could happen. The numbers after the names make it seem like we are all inmates in the YouTube prison. Could be. They're setting us up. Like Patrick John 8014 here. Glad to see you back from last week. Your package is out for delivery. I saw last week's winner. Just got my prize box. Okay, so it's there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you joined last week. Congrats for the win. And hopefully you do it again this week. We'll see. We're 1/4 of the way there. And I guess a little bit more. You about to leave? Yeah. Oh. Have fun.
Thanks. Love you.
Have fun.
Yep. You too.
So far, so good.
Please don't forget to specifically put A about before you leave.
Yeah. Did you? The kids are coming on the bus, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're all up to speed. We got this.
Okay.
We got this. Yeah. We got this. Yeah. Cool. Love you too. He's so confused. He's like, do I walk out? Do I stay? What do I do?
I do.
We got Steven with the C in the building. Leafy Substances, what is happening, homie? Happy new DC Day, Legionnaires. So I can't even tell what this clip is. Let's click on it and see. New one. I put that in there last week, right after the show. Forgot about that. I was looking at it tiny on here. That's a good one, though. That's a really good one. Battle of the Titans there. Really like that movie a lot. It was good. If I win, give it to another. There you go. Can do, Jay. What's going on, Pop? Yeah, got some extra clips in here. I think, yeah, there's maybe 1 or 2 since last week. Most of them are still the same. They're all a bunch of like what feels new. Yeah, compared. Yeah, there's a bunch of semi-new ones in here. Okay. That's a dope clip. Yeah, it was a dope movie. One of our lockdown movies when the world was going crazy and Warner Brothers decided to release all their movies straight to streaming that year. It was a really cool movie. I like it a lot. Super cool. All right, let's see what we got here. What do I want to start talking? Let's look at some of this DC news first. I think that's what I want to do. Let me see if I can get this pulled up. There's a couple things that I saw on Instagram with some of the announcements for stuff and things happening. And let's see. Yeah, here it is. So there's the, everyone's all excited about the DCEU or the DCU and all that stuff. We have the Supergirl movie coming later this year. We have the Clayface movie coming this year, but that's not all that we have coming. We also have the cartoon stuff. There's a couple of notable ones. Specifically, we have the Mr. Miracle cartoon. It was kind of announced at the beginning of all of this that we're going to do this Gods and Monsters era, and it was insinuated that we weren't going to be doing Darkseid specifically, or like, you think DC bad guys, you think Darkseid. It's a fair assumption. He is the biggest, baddest comic book villain of all, ever, any company. And we didn't really know like what this overarching story is going to be. We have MCU brain with a lot of this stuff. We have the Superman movie, the Supergirl movie, but what's it all leading to? We got this Lantern show and this Amazon show. And then are we going to have like our Avengers moment where it all comes together to fight this big Thanos level threat? And everyone, you just put Darkseid in that void. But they announced that we're going to be doing a Mr. Miracle animated show, I believe on Max, on HBO, which is the home of where Creature Commandos kicked off all of this stuff. It's going to be inspired by, pulled from, or an adaptation of the Mr. Miracle 12-issue maxi series from Tom King, which if you haven't read it, it is absolutely phenomenal. Definitely regarded as a controversial creator's best of his best by most people. That's not a hot take. Most people love Mr. Miracle that he did. A lot of Tom King work is debated on. It's either loved or hated, not much in the middle. The guy sells books, though, that's for sure. I enjoy Tom King's work an awful lot. So I don't know how much is going to pull from his book specifically. Are they just going to use it to usher in and introduce us to the new gods? There's aspects of that story that would be great for that. Then there's aspects of the story that it really feels like it's meant for an established character. You know, like we're meeting Scott Free, Mr. Miracle, at such a unique time in his life, which it helps to have experience with the character. It's not necessarily necessary, but it helps. So it'd be interesting to see how or what they do to adapt that story if that's what they're doing. We know they're adapting his Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow in a loose sense, and it doesn't even feel like the loose sense. It feels like an adaptation. You know, you got Krim, you got Ruthie. It's literally the adaptation of that 8-issue story. So I'm curious what they're doing with this. But the big news about it isn't that it's happening. That's been out there already. The big news about it is that Tom King, James Gunn has confirmed that casting has happened for Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, Darkseid, and Orion. Some of the most notable new gods that you can think of, including Darkseid, who's kind of like a backdressing of the story. You know, it's about Mr. Miracle. Orion's got some wild stuff in there. Barda and Scott Free, Mr. Miracle, are definitely the focus points of your story, though. Most definitely. Supergirl, Dawn of OnlyFans is the most obvious incoming flop I've ever seen. I don't know. What's today? Today is January 20th. I think we can screenshot this and we can put it to the test because it ain't far out. How would you define flop? I guess would be the first thing. That'd be interesting. I think it's going to do surprisingly well. I'm not calling it a $1 billion movie, but that's not what's required to succeed. It's got a lower budget than Superman did. I think it's gonna do pretty good. But yeah, I think, man, I don't. It's hard to call with DC films. I think Superman did a lot to rebuild the good grace that the audience has toward the brand. A lot of DC movies shocked people either making money or not making money. It's kind of weird. But if they have a consistent brand and there's some goodwill and trust with the audience, it might do okay. Might do okay. I'm nervous myself, just like I was with the Superman movie, but I don't know. I just love the Woman of Tomorrow story. I hope they do a good job with it. Custom emojis. That's what's happening. There they are. What's going on, Donovan? Good to see you here. What's up, people? Darkseid will be in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, which definitely will happen. Okay, so yeah, it won't happen. It'd be cool if it did. Absolutely love the Snyder cut. Love the Snyderverse, but that's crazy. Yeah, Zack Snyder. Yeah, I didn't know that people were still holding on to that. Like, I understand wanting it, but believing or thinking it would happen is kind of a whole different thing, isn't it? Ryan Raleigh, what is going on, homie? Trev the Shipping Guru, what's up? What's up? A lot of people have these. Darkseid is. What do you think of the upcoming corner box variant? I like I don't know about the corner box variant. I know what corner boxes are. I know that we've had some corner box art on some of the Superman books recently. Superman Unlimited, Primary Superman, and busting the chains up. But I don't know about the corner box variants. Supergirl doesn't have the expectation Superman had. Yeah, not. But I think he's going to catch some of Superman's good graces. I don't think it's going to overall do what Superman did. She's not Superman, but I think it's going to do good for the studio. It's logical, not crazy. I've gotten this stuff right year after year, but it's all good. I'm not trying to derail. No, dude, you're fine. You are perfectly fine. What year are they making it, if that's the case? Because they haven't made it yet for years now. For almost 5 years they haven't made it now. So what year? I was one of the, before they started that hashtag of release the Snyder Cut, before that hashtag was popular, before it started trending, that became a thing. I was one of the few people that were already hoping for, wanting, and calling for like the Donner cut of the Justice League movie. I absolutely love Snyder stuff. And when the movie came out, I was aware of the situation that happened with summer and everything, or with autumn, and it was super sad. And I'm like, dude, I hope that we get like a proper release down the road kind of thing. So I'm never a naysayer about anything, but when it comes to logical, it's not logical to expect the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. It was very, very logical to expect. I don't mean to want, but to expect them to release Zack Snyder's Justice League. It had been filmed. The actors had been on set. it had, it had everything but post pretty much. They could release it whenever they wanted to. They just needed Zach to come and piece it together, and he did that and then some. But it's very illogical to expect to get all of those people back, including writers, and it is very illogical to expect the studio to throw that money at it. And I'm even considering Netflix here too. I don't necessarily see that happening. Zach hasn't expressed any desire to do it himself. I could see it being done. I could see it being done in the what do you call it? In the version of like comics. Give us like, and I'd be super happy with that if they gave us like the conclusion to it in comic form. Okay, those look pretty cool. It's like character profile covers. Yeah, they don't look bad, Donovan. It'd be a cool little cover set. But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the holding out. I wouldn't be holding out hope for it. If they do it, great. But yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, animated be cool too. I think that we could get it faster and get it more accurate to whatever version that we have. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know how many of you are aware of what's in Justice League 2 that Zach has. A lot of it ain't good, guys. A lot of the concepts that the story is written about are not good. Like it's absolutely too far over the rainbow. Zack Snyder went with some of that stuff. It's all, well, don't, Zach hasn't expressed. Nah, I love talking about this, dude. I'm telling you, I'm a Snyder guy. I love talking about this. Don't have to move on at all. Super happy to talk about it. Share what everyone else doesn't know. Share what everyone else doesn't know, because a lot of people on here, a lot of people follow Zack Snyder. A lot of people keep up with him. He's working on the last photo right now. He shares photos of his work with DC as well as his other stuff. I don't know, animated would be cool, but I'd be a little fearful of that. We had the motion comic kind of animated thing that they already made that was like almost 2 hours long that released about 3 years ago now. I was sitting there, watched the premiere of that. You got to keep in mind, in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, Lois and Bruce end up hooking up, becoming a pair, and having a kid. There's some wild stuff in it that a general audience and fans of the first one would be like, that's crazy. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? Dude, disagreeing is awesome. Disagreeing is fun. That's the whole point of having a fandom, is so we can disagree about stuff and discuss it. More than welcome to disagree all you guys want. The train has left the station. Animated at best could happen. Just partly weighing in on the Lobo Solo movie. What is going on, Flo? I watched House of Dragon spinoff on HBO Max. Needed action, less talking. I agree. For a short show, man, it was, the opening lost me almost immediately, Kev. When they had this scene of Dunk behind the tree, I'm like, that's, and I guess they're trying to make it more comical and whimsical, but poop jokes there's not funny anymore. It's no secret he's expressed desire to continue. He's been asked directly. He's answered directly. Nah. I mean, I hear you saying that, but nah, I don't. Yeah, I disagree with that. I agree. Disagreeing is awesome. Echo Chambers kind of suck. Super suck. Yeah. I follow and I know, and I'm a huge Snyder fan, dude. And I follow him and I watch every day. And I talk about regularly here how people will take anything he does and turn it into something that he didn't do to try to say that this thing is coming back. He has expressed nothing but open love for what James is doing, what the DCU is, his time there and everything. But he has not made any comments about coming back, or it would be in at least 50 different things that I keep up with 1,000 times. Yeah, just drop me a link. Shoot me a link. Just shoot it straight into my DMs on Instagram or Facebook. I'll be happy to look at it. Again, I've followed this guy for years, man, for years. But it's fun stuff. I think that misplaced expectations can lead to wrong outcomes, though, bad outcomes. To that point, with misplaced expectations leading to sad outcomes, did everybody see the announcement that James Gunn made about his Superman stuff? You have his Superman stuff taking a surprising turn. So I thought that this was super interesting. Let me see if I pull this back up. So Sam McCurdy is being brought in for the cinematographer on Man of Tomorrow, which apparently is started filming. They have like Sped Rush, the whole concept of the Superman sequel, and Sam McCurdy is now the cinematographer for Man of Tomorrow. He's got some decent credits. I went and looked, and I noticed that some of his movie credits are kind of non-existent. A lot of his movie credits are non-existent. He's done movies, but nothing like major. But he's done some major TV work, including the OG Game of Thrones and stuff, and some notable episodes and stuff. So it'll be interesting. The entire look, tone, vibe of the first Superman movie is going to be different for the second one. And that's not all that they have from here. They also have the whole concept of Brainiac being brought in and Superman teaming up with Lex, and that they've brought in Maxima now, which has opened doors to a bunch of fan theories with Brainiac and Maxima being confirmed. People are figured out what storyline it looks like they're updating or adapting again, pulling from some obscure 90s stuff. You know, they already did the what did they do at the end of Peacemaker? The whatever run, the little obscure little early 2000s thing that he wanted to lean into. What is this? Fire in the Sky or something? What was the name of this run? It was where Brainiac pops up with Maxima and Superman has to put together an obscure team of heroes, some heavy hitters that he has to throw together. It was a mini series that ran through the pages of Supergirl, Superman, Action, and Man of Steel. But it's like the Matrix era of Supergirl. And it's just, instead of the Justice League dealing with Brainiac, it was like a ragtag team of bullies and hard hitters that he took in to fight Brainiac, which seems very James Gunny to take this obscure group of characters, bring them together in an ensemble. Sounds like something we've seen before. Kevin Feige needs to step down from Marvel Studios. He has nothing left to prove to nobody. I agree. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, Shogun was the other show. Shogun and Game of Thrones. Shogun, which I think has like 100% approval rating across numerous critic sites. But those were the big things that I saw. We got Maxima being cast, which gave us a little clue into what's being adapted. See if I can find it. Panic in the Sky. Panic in the Sky is the name of that. So if you're curious to possibly run out there and grab the book or the story that they could be leaning into or adapting, go look for Panic in the Sky. It is available to read on the DC Universe app if you have it. You can just search Panic in the Sky and it'll formulate the reading order for, I think it's all 8 issues. Put it right up for you. That's a fantastic app, by the way. If no one has it, it's a game changer. Absolute game changer. Let's see what we got here. Looking at the stuff that's coming out this week, though. Releasing this week. Again, it's a pretty small week. If I search this just by publisher, a lot of reprints, a lot of subsequent printings. 10th print of Absolute Batman. 2nd print of Absolute Batman Annual. They're doing subsequent prints with alternate covers now and stuff, which is extra. That's wild. But yeah, the very, 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 very successful Absolute Batman 2025 Annual is getting a 2nd print treatment with a different color trade dress and a brand new cover. Art by Daniel Warren Johnson. So I do want to let everybody know part of today's giveaway includes that. And I didn't get an opportunity to throw it in here. Let me try to do that real fast. But I have the giveaway stuff on a picture as always. Let's see if I can save this. Oh man. No. I'll post it on social. I'll try to get it. But yeah, if you didn't read the Batman Annual, if you're late to it, if you didn't pull it, if it's sold out, now's your chance this week to get back out there and grab a copy. It's a fantastic read. Includes 2 separate stories. Both of them are really good, but the Daniel Warren Johnson one is wild. Absolutely wild. Fantastic read, amazing art. Kind of hits you in the with the feels. Like both of them are kind of father-son stories. That was clearly the dynamic that the creatives took with this, but highly recommend. And if you could get a hold of this cover, I think it's going to be a pretty popular cover. Because Daniel Warren Johnson's like one of the hottest working artists right now in the comics game. And I picked up this This one's going out. So this is a virgin foil version of it. It's a lot of words right there. Virgin foil version of the Absolute Batman Annual with a completely original new cover. And then on the other side of it, that's a Derek Chu variant featuring Grail of this week's issue of Titans, which is a DC KO tie-in. We're getting toward the end of the Evacuation Earth story arc that's happening during DC KO, and the Titans are up against the ropes dealing with Grail right now. But yeah, those are going to be included in today's giveaway. Yeah, kapow, that like button. What is going on? Aggressively relaxing. What is up, homie? Hope you're doing good today. But yeah, so if you're on the lookout for that, I'm assuming that it's going to be going fast. But let's see what else is coming out from DC. Now, it's not on my pool list, but man, isn't this a great cover? Yet Nightwing issue 134 by Dan Waters. I haven't been keeping up with Nightwing. Nothing against Nightwing. I get enough Nightwing in the Batman titles I read. But issue 134, Nightwing caught in a deadly game in the heart of the Cirque de Sin. A carnival game is played for the soul of Bloodhaven's children, but whether Nightwing wins or loses, the outcome of this game will have repercussions for his city forever. One that I do pull and do read, which I really enjoy from start to current. This has been fun. 47 issues in. He's almost keeping up with Poison Ivy. Batman Superman World's Finest. This is part 2. Yeah, I think it's part 2 of this story arc. Maybe part 3. Could be part 3. Fusion versus Merger. Fusion's a reoccurring character in this book that first appeared in the first story arc when they were battling the demon Nezha. You have Superman, Batman, and Green Lantern that merged into one being due to magic and stuff. And that character is back dealing with the, I guess the character's name is Merger. It's Lex and Joker merged into one being that's kind of existing in a weird state of reality. Lex and Joker were both after this MacGuffin, and the MacGuffin that they both get to causes them to merge, and now he's a wickedly dangerous character. Wickedly dangerous character. What'd you send it on? Sent the message. What'd you send it on? On Instagram? Don't have a message on Instagram. Let me check my requests. Don't have it on there. Give it away, give it away, give it away, meow. With the meow. But yeah, World's Finest has been super dope. Let's hit this one for... Boom. Sent you a link. Where'd you send it at? Super, super happy to check it out again. Not on Facebook. Has it not come in yet? Here in the chat. Oh, it might not pop up on here, unfortunately. YouTube doesn't like links unless you're wrenched, and YouTube typically kicks links if you just send it here. That's why I said you'd have to send it like on Instagram or Facebook or something. But good news, I do have Instagram and Facebook Messenger, all from the same name, just Legion of Comics. But yeah, if you look at like the chat, like it doesn't show any links or anything. If you're not a mod, it typically won't even let it post. No, the link is not in this chat, brother. Send it on a Instagram message or Facebook, and I'll pull it up. We can check it out here in the chat. Yeah, it doesn't show up on my StreamYard in or on the I got my phone open to the chat as well. Yeah, nope, not there. If anyone else in the chat, on X, yeah, you can send it on X. Same name, Legion of Comics. That'd be cool. I got it pulled up. All right, cool. Yeah, happy to check it out. But I don't think too many people are reading World's Finest these days. It's a good book. Mark Waid, Dan Moore have been pretty much killing it. I don't see where Mark Waid is credited on this one. He's credited on the book, but I don't see him credited here on this. Over to DC KO tie-in for the week, Titans. The Derek Chu cover is way cooler than this A cover. Earth's last line of defense. If you remember at the beginning of this DCKO event, the entire Earth is being pretty much terraformed by the actions of the King Omega Darkseid in the heart of Apocalypse. It's at the center of the Earth's core, turning it into a hellscape. So while all of our heroes and villains are down in the core fighting in the tournament to stop Darkseid and this from happening. The Titans were tasked with evacuating Earth, and it didn't go smoothly at all. The Earth reborn, something has gone wrong in the Omega tournament, and the planet's transformation into New Apocalypse has accelerated. Darkseid's forces arrived on Earth to witness his rebirth, so it's up to Donna Troy and Roy Harper to hold them back. But can they survive against Grail, the daughter of Darkseid? This is an action-packed issue. I haven't been much caring for or caring about keeping up with Titans really. When Tom Taylor took it over, it kind of just wasn't good. Kind of wasn't good at all. So I kind of bailed, and then it's kind of been keeping up from afar with what's been going on. But yeah, cool cover, and I kind of peek in there just to make sure I'm not missing anything like exceptional, during the event. Sounds convoluted. Not really. No, it's pretty straightforward. It just doesn't. I don't know. This is probably the most enjoyable it's been since they kind of started it. You have like Nicholas Scott doing the art when Tom Taylor took it over, which felt like it'd be a good idea, and the art was great, but it didn't last but for a few issues. And this is pretty direct. It's just a couple people fighting Grail, and it looks like one thing I think about when we do these events, this is when like big things happen, like certain characters don't make it kind of deal. But I've been kind of watching out for that. But yeah, pretty much just the minions of Darkseid are kind of popping up everywhere now that we're kind of getting closer to the end of the event. This isn't going to be the only book that has something like this, like Darkseid's minions show up because they want to watch his rebirth kind of thing. But that'll be in another book this week as well, to a degree. But yeah, it's a really cool cover, that's for sure. No, it's not YouTube censoring you. It's how the platform works. You can't just you can't drop links unless you're a wrench. You can't put links in comments. It's always been like that forever. It keeps people on the platform. They don't want people leaving the platform. But not saying they're not censoring you, but that's the whole links thing. I got my X open. Kind is up and down. That's fair. Yeah, it's just this hasn't been bad. It's never really it didn't get me. And with so many good books out there, like legitimately good books, you can be picky and choosy about what you pull. Nothing wrong with that at all. Plenty of good books. Let's see. We'll jump to the other one real quick. And this is talking about like the acolytes of Darkseid popping up everywhere. This is the DCKO special, DCKO Green Lantern Galactic Slam #1. Now, I'm always honest with you guys. I call balls and strikes. I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. I love my events. But if you're just trying to keep up with the event, you do not need to buy this book at all. At all. Like not one bit. Not one single bit at all. Has really kind of almost nothing at all to deal with DCKO other than a random character's motive, a character that doesn't matter in this grand scheme of DCKO. And the crazy part is this book is like oversized, dude. It's like feels like it's 48 pages or something. It's not a small book. It's not a small book at all. If you remember in Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern run, he's introduced some cool original characters, and you got like this cosmic macho man, Randy Savage, Wham Bam or something. What is his name? The Omega Bam Man. Super cool character. He's like he says bro a lot. Super fun, super cool. And this is just you're getting an excuse to go into his world. You're getting an excuse to get his origin, which it's really fleshed out. I'm not going to lie. If you're curious about the Omega Bam Man, where he comes from, why he's there, what he's doing, the entire dynamic of the Galactic Wrestling Federation, how it's structured, how it's set up, how matches are picked, how they train for it. That's what this book is. And they used the DCKO event to get this book out there. So I'm super happy it exists. This is like the third time we've gotten to hang out with the Omega Bam Man, who's such a cool character, but it's not integral in the DCKO stuff. They find a roundabout way to link it back to it so that you can say, okay, it has DCKO on it, but it's fun. It's ridiculously wordy. And that's about it. Nothing necessary with the DC KO event, but it was fun. So go into it knowing that, because I think it can upset a lot of people if they go pay the $5.99 for this oversized book, wanting like something DCKO out of it. And they sit down to read it and they have no clue who these people are. They haven't kept up with the Green Lantern little guest characters along the way. And it's almost like a bait and switch. I don't want people to feel like they've been bait and switch. Just know that you're buying an Omega Bam Man origin book with this. That's all you're doing. And it's fun. But if you're wanting a KO book, this is not that. Which one of the next level books are you looking forward to the most? I'm looking forward to Deathstroke. Out of the first initial 3 of Lobo, Batwoman, Deathstroke, I'm looking forward to Lobo the most, with Jorge Corona on the art and Scotty Young. Out of the extended ones you got coming after that, they've added Bizarro with Kevin Smith to the mix, which means it won't be on time nor good. They got Jeff Lemire on Firestorm, which means it could go either way. The one I'm looking forward to the most would be Etrigan the Demon. I'm waiting to see details and stuff on that at a later date. And also the Legion of Superheroes are supposed to getting an announcement later. Barbara Gordon book, I'm not sure what they're doing with that. Batman, Shadow of the Bat, not sure what they're doing with that. Well, what were the other ones? That's about it. Oh yeah, Jamal Campbell's returning for Zatanna, which nothing against it, but not picking it up. I just can't stand the backwards talk. But Deathstroke, I think, is probably my top 3. So probably like Etrigan, Lobo, and Deathstroke are the top 3 out of all the ones we know so far. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Let's see, X won't let me DM you. Maybe you don't have it enabled. I don't know. I've never once reached out to him. I'm so barely present on X, but I've got my top one is a direct message that Scott Snyder himself messaged me one day out of left field. So it's definitely enabled, because Scott Snyder had no problem messaging me last month. Yeah. I've never reached out to anybody, but it's definitely enabled. I don't know why. I don't understand how a lot of these social media platforms work. But yeah, if Netflix had the rights to the characters from my DC universe, of course I would. Absolutely. Zack Snyder on whether or not he would continue his DC universe. That's not him saying he's going to do it. That's exactly what I said earlier, that he said nothing but good things about his time doing it and his love for it. That's not him saying he's coming back to do it. That sentence right there that you typed is no different than saying, if my aunt had wheels, she would be a bicycle. That's the same sentence. I get what you're saying. He has no bad feelings about any of it. I mentioned that earlier. That's not him saying he's coming back to do it. That's saying if his aunt has wheels, she'd be a bicycle. But I hope he does. Again, hope he does. Just trying to keep calling balls and strikes here. That's exactly what I said earlier, where he'll do something, he'll say something, and then they'll add what they want to hear to it. Adding stuff that Zach didn't say to it. What is going on, Brian LCS? Good afternoon. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my X, dude. I don't know. I don't know how to work it or what I have or don't have on it. Not sure. But yeah, if you're on it, feel free to message me anytime on any platform. I'm definitely responsive. Happy to talk to anybody. Dude, you are perfectly fine. This is not a very structured show. This is a Tuesday hangout. And anybody who's been here for a while, there's plenty of people in this chat that have been here for a while, absolutely they know that I love to debate and argue. It's my favorite thing in the world to do on social media with fandom stuff. You will not see me get mad. You will not see me call you names. You will not see me degrade you, but we can happily debate and argue and talk about anything in the world. I'd rather do that than anything else. Best believe. Netflix soon will have those rights. Interesting. Yeah, as of today, Netflix moved their position a little bit. They agreed to move their purchase to an all-cash bid because they're still in this game of chess with Paramount that's even looked to the EU to come in and help strong arm some antitrust violations. To be fair, like no matter who that you hope wins in this, it looks like there's some definite behind the scene like buddy rubbing going on to just kind of make it an easy purchase for Netflix, because the Ellisons, what they pulled off should have won it. Like with some of the moves they made, should have sealed the deal. Ordered it 2 months ago. It's still fun, Dead Man. And if you've been reading Green Lantern, you'll get it. Let the boys be boys. You can't just search a quote either way. There's video also. I feel you. But I'm telling you, he has never once said he's coming back to it. Never once. Can you imagine what kind of director he would be, how it would go with his peers if he actively said or did things that could hinder the performance of his peers' work? Him and James Gunn are friends. Now, one thing like that I can show you is where Zach has stated that he's excited for what James is doing with the DCU and looking forward to seeing it. I can show you that directly. Can you imagine if he did things from a PR standpoint that harmed his friend's work and vice versa? Can you imagine if James Gunn came out and said some things that directly about Zack Snyder's work that harmed the performance of his work? That would be crazy, wouldn't it? That's why they don't do it. My aunt has wheels. She's a driver. There you go. What's going on? What is that? Amelie Show? Haven't been here for a while. Hello from Digital Collecting. What is going on? Good to see you. I don't know what AR is saying here, but I support it, whatever it is. Reintroducing Kyle Rayner's Green Lantern. No, he's been here. Kyle's been here through this Green Lantern run. Not just that, Kyle's here as Green Lantern with the ability to amp up his White Lantern abilities. Green Lantern's been going strong since Jeremy Adams took it over. He's rebuilt the core from that weird era with just the Teen Lantern, with Hal gone, all this stuff. Jeremy Adams has full on rebuilt the core. And in the last 6 months, we've even got the full color spectrum back. We got Atrocitus back, LaFreeze back. They're out looking for the Indigo Lantern right now. But all these characters are here. They're all here so much so that they split up, and we have 2 ongoing Green Lantern books. So you can follow the Hal-focused Green Lantern, and you can follow the John, Guy, Kyle, more of their exploits in Green Lantern Corps. So we have 2 books to hold all the Green Lantern characters that are ongoing right now. It's fan-flipping-tastic. Jessica Cruz is there. Teen Lantern is still there. Even characters that originated in the CG animated TV show have now come into this. It's really good. Mark won't do that, but I might. I'm going to see it that way. Nah, it just kills the fun. Hey, at any point in time when you're a debater arguing with someone that they no longer attack your position, they attack your character, that means they have they have fully lost the argument. The entire Snyder movement has been started by Zack Snyder. The number one person that continues to throw fuel in the fire is Zack Snyder. I've followed it for 8 years. I watched 99% of the world get all this wrong. You ain't seen me on this channel get a thing wrong about it. The entire Snyder movement has been started by Zack Snyder. That's wrong. Is that the 1%? That's the 1%, I guess. I don't know what you mean by the Snyder movement. I remember seeing Dawn of Dead in theaters when it came out. I remember watching Sucker Punch in theaters. I remember watching the Blu-ray on maximum movie mode to get the extended edition with Zach on screen talking to us about the movie. Legends of the Guardian is not my favorite, but I remember sitting at the midnight release for Man of Steel with my oldest daughter, who was 6 at the time, sitting in my lap because it was just such an event. Both my parents were there who were divorced. It was really, really a major event. Me and Pops and the rest of the family sitting at Batman vs. Superman at the midnight premiere. I remember walking out of the Justice League movie and walking out of Thor Ragnarok in the same week. And I remember looking at my dad and saying, Thor sucks so bad, I'd rather watch Justice League again. I remember that. Yeah. And I know Billy's a huge, no matter what reality says, I'm just going to scream, restore the Snyderverse, friend. But I love Billy. I hope it gets restored. If you check my channel, I just opened my tier 5 back to McFarlane Zack Snyder Batmobile. A big fan of it. I did a live stream the second it ended, even when they put it out on HBO. Now, Netflix is going to have the rights. I never claimed that he said he was coming back, bro. That's not the claim. The claim is clear he wants to, and overwhelming evidence support that. I argue the Snyderverse went away. Never went. I would say it never went away had they handled Flash correctly. Wouldn't that have been the way to do it? To actually Flashpoint into the whatever we have now. I think they messed up not doing that. It was funny to see George Clooney at the end, but it would have been cool if they actually in continuity Flashpoint the DCEU. And I'm with AR. I kind of, for me, it ain't gonna. I rewatched the Snyder cut often, and I prefer Man of Steel over the new Superman movie. And I don't know who's that back behind Kyle. That's Darkseid and Omega Bam Man. Are there tables? Get to the tables. There's all kinds of cool wrestling stuff in there. But I don't know. I don't think you're going to hear these creators talk negatively about their stuff like that. You'll hear me talk negatively about this book, Prankster's Back. I'm still talking about this book when it comes out, I guess, as a PSA, as a warning, caution, be careful. This book is not, I don't know, it's terrible. I saw what I assume is some clickbait nonsense about Grant Gustin being used in a future film. Heard anything about that, Mark? I have. I have heard about the photos of Grant Gustin growing his hair out, getting, he's like double the size that he was when he played Barry, and also his hair has been dyed blonde. And everyone's like, oh my God, he grew his hair out long and dyed it blonde. He's got to be Barry Allen, right? Even though his hair wasn't either of those things when he played Barry Allen before. But he denied it. He said it's for the current project film that he's working on right now. And he loves the energy in the room, referring to the people's positive feelings toward him playing Barry Allen. I think he was a perfect actor for CW. I don't see him having silver screen chops, though. Looks like Grant Gustin may come back in some aspect. Really hope that no. Not according to anything he's saying. Not according to anything he's saying. The purple guy, I never heard of that name. Oh, well. The Omega Bam Man. He's the wrestler that's a reoccurring character that was introduced in this run of Green Lantern. Just those funsy, whimsical issues. Green Lantern finds himself in the middle of a galactic WWF moment. This is your Macho Man character, your champion, your belt holder. Really fun character. A reoccurring third time. If we're just waiting for an official announcement that the discussion is pointless, whole point is about reading between the lines, using common sense, logic, all things the MSN did not do with Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's fair. If we're just trying to look at the evidence in front of us, I mean, there's obviously nothing definitive. Clearly nothing definitive. I'd choose to think that Zack Snyder sharing photos are not clues or hints to his return. And I only say that because the only photos people tend to talk about him sharing are the ones of previous DC stuff. But that's not all that he shares at all. He shares photos from the current last photograph. He shares photos from Rebel Moon. He shares photos of his girlfriend, whoever she is, half naked. Like, he shares all kinds of stuff. He shares photos of himself opening Fortnite stuff. Like, it's the only thing that people want to talk about are the DC stuff, which he has shared and talked about nonstop, like forever. In terms of Netflix, I don't know. That gets a little dicey there. It gets a little bit more in the weeds. I think there was a better chance of him getting to do more DC stuff with Netflix if this was 2 years ago. Because now they've had Zach. They had the Army of the Dead thing. They had the little spinoff or whatever. They had Rebel Moon 1 and 2, Rebel Moon Director's Cut 1 and 2. And now I'm not sure what the relationship with Zack Snyder and Netflix is. Not saying it's bad, but I don't think that it has the same immediate draw that he did at one point. The Snyderverse is its own thing, just as the current DCU right now is just like the Batman movies over there. Leave it at that. No sense of listening to people. I don't think anyone's disputed that, Joe. Great minds think alike, Tate. Omega Bam Man. Earth Prime or DC. Gotcha. What? Yeah. If you ever do an open panel shows, I'll be happy to have a quick conversation with you. Dude, every Friday morning at 7:30 a.m. I go live for an open panel show. Every Friday morning. Happy to send anybody the link to join. You just have to be able to have a, like, even if you don't want to have your camera on screen, like, I can see all the panelists below my screen. You have to just be able to, like, wave to show that you're a real person kind of thing. Snyder fans don't want to see his girlfriend half naked. They want to see Zach half naked. That's what it seems like. And he sends shots of himself working out from times. Zach did all of this in November 2019 before Zack Snyder announcement. It's the same thing all over again. Zach knows marketing, and Zach knows exactly what he's doing with it. I mean, that's a fair take to try to make the comparison from where he started showing that stuff. But to be fair, I don't know, man. I don't know. And at that point, we're just doing guesswork, right? You know, there's a huge difference of what was going on in 2019 under Walter Hamada with the inception of HBO Max and the lucky break that Zach caught with the guy who was in charge of HBO Max, who was the one that made the call to call Zach and make the Snyder Cut an HBO Max exclusive, an original for the platform. You don't have a platform in need of content. You don't have a non-existent or struggling cinematic universe. You have one in its infancy being built up. You have like a planet and it's kind of standing in the way. I don't know. Me personally, I like it, but yeah, I just watched like 2.5 hours worth of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon on the Rogan podcast this past week. They no mention, allude to it or anything. None of that. None of the people that would need to come back to work on it ever talk about, make mention or allude to it. The most we've seen any of them do anything about it is during this 10-year later trend that they did this past week, where you post pictures from 2016. So we got some cool photos from them. Yeah, dude, definitely more than welcome. I don't have a cam. I jump on shows regularly. Like I said, you just have to be able to, if you have a phone, you have a camera. You don't have to have it on when you're on screen. You just have to be able to, when you pop up, it's going to wave. Just verify. That's all. The dude from 1922 is going to be great as Batman. Yeah, I've seen a lot of fan casting for him. A lot of fan casting for him. I still haven't watched that yet. That or the 18 whatever. No idea. But yeah, you're always welcome. Anybody, even you, Billy, if you want to come on Friday morning and promote your book, buddy, you know you're more than welcome to. Wonder Woman 29 by the aforementioned controversial creator Tom King, but an issue not written by Tom King. We have Sophie Williams stepping in to write an issue. I guess it's a layover issue or something. The Amazons meet the daughter of Wonder Woman after barely surviving the trials of Mouse Man. Wonder Woman takes a much-deserved night off thanks to her sisters. But are the Amazons ready for their greatest challenge yet? Because in the DC universe, babysitting always leads to adventure. Sounds boring. Not going to lie to you. Mark wasn't Grail from the new ending of the New 52, the one who took the reborn. Mark wasn't Grail? What? Saying, was it Grail from the new ending? Grail came in during was that Jeff Johns writing Justice League at that time during the Dark Side War and all that? But I think it was. Zack is not hyping up his own fans for no real. I don't think he's hyping up his fans, man. I think they self-hype. That's the way that I see it. Either deal is done or he's flexing. I think at best, I think he's flexing at all times because the dude is wildly talented and he loves photography. Like the only way, like half of loving photography is sharing the pictures, right? But that's my take on it. I give his fans all the credit in the world. They made the Snyder Cut happen 1,000%. I was there with them wanting to see it too, but it's enough to a certain extent. Let's move on from it. That's how I felt, man. Like, you remember what happened that day? I do. They released the Snyder Cut. I took the day off from work ahead of time. I woke up at 2 a.m. in the morning to get ready to watch it, where it kicked off over here at like 4 a.m. By 8:30 a.m., I was live streaming that Friday morning with friends, with homies. You go back on my feeds here and find it and watch it. It was really fun. And before that stream is over, they're the same people that were asking them to release a Snyder Cut, and they're like, all right, we hear you. We got you. Here you go, man. They didn't say thank you. They said restore the Snyderverse, and became some of the most toxic online people. Not saying you, Integrity, but like I was a part of these people sharing these hashtags, and then they just turn into like they didn't say thank you. They said, give me more. It was crazy. There's no reason to move on. Requesting a sequel to a film is not wrong in any way. Any other movie in the world can have a fan base request a sequel, and that's no problem. No, wanting a sequel is not a problem. It's how far a lot of the folks will take it. Like if you see a DCU post, give me the Snyder Cut sequel under like a Superman post, that's just being belligerent, annoying, and like kind of killing any credibility your voice might have to these studios and stuff, because they don't listen to the belligerents. They'll listen to an actual healthy looking amount of people wanting something, but just being contrarians becomes a problem, and it's not helpful. It's only because of constant nonsensical programming that's been seen as bad or something for the fans who want this particular sequel. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting the sequel, anything wrong with posting about it, any of that. It's when people are just complaining about everything that's not that. That's where it kind of I think it's shooting yourself in the foot. What's going on, Becker? What happened to the old DC day? What does that even mean? What happened to the what old DC day? Wasn't it Grail who claimed the baby Darkseid at the end? I think it was. Pretty sure it was. You don't have to move on, but I'm quite tired of it nowadays. Fair. Entropy, what's up, Kev? Will Zach make Justice 2 or not? Maybe, but more importantly, who's your favorite Looney Tunes character? Now that's a callback right there. That's the old DC day right there. Yeah. I personally just want it in a comic. I just want it in a comic. I think we'd get more and get it faster. I just want the story. But we'll see what happens with this Wonder Woman book as well. Tom King's not on it. Kind of lost a little bit of interest in it because it's a fill-in book. Jeffrey Spokes is on the art, so we don't even have a regular artist. I think that's pretty much it. Catwoman is up to issue number 83 with this gorgeous Court of Owls cover. I'm not pulling Catwoman. Redcoat is out this week. Excited for that. You notice that we don't get any absolute books this week. That's 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row with 0 absolute books. There are 6 ongoing absolute comics right now. And if my memory serves me right, most months have 4 Wednesdays in them, with a couple exceptions through the year. 6 books, and we've gone 2 weeks in a row without getting a single one. I kind of need to get the release schedule for these absolute things kind of on a better track where we don't have 4 of them releasing on the same week and then none for weeks. It's nice to kind of have them like, 1 or 2 a week is kind of perfect. Same thing with Ghost Machine. There's enough Ghost Machine titles between Geiger, Redcoat, Rook, Hornsby and Halo, Rockefellers, Hyde Street. There's enough that we should never go a week without this universe. So I'm excited that we're getting Redcoat. We had Geiger last week. It's definitely not as bad as the absolute stuff. 1909 Part 2. We got introduced to Simon Pure in an era where he's married with kids, which doesn't bode well for Simon because we've known this character for a while now, and he hasn't had either of those things, nor is he happy. So I think this might end up being a sad little story the way this plays out or ends. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm definitely going to check it out. Let's see. That might have been it outside of those reprints and all that stuff. Yeah, it looks like we made it to the end of the line for that. There's some other stuff coming out. Like I said, there's a bunch of random Marvel books. I couldn't really care less for those. Yeah, looks like it. Murder Podcast, Save Now, issue number 0 from Bad Idea. I didn't even remember that Bad Idea is still a thing. I have to cross paths with one every now and then to even know that they still make books. They were all the rave for a little while there with all their little gimmicks they were doing with the invisible encapsulated comic and stuff like that. It was just goofy stuff. Speed Racer, Tales from the Road, issue number 2. Dark Souls, Mother Morning. A lot of indie books out this week. Oh, yeah, Superman 75 has got a reprint and a foil version and a blank, I think. I think it has a all-white blank cover. So if you want to relive the death of Superman, you get your opportunity to do that. Didn't Absolute Wonder Woman get delayed? We got 4 Absolute titles coming. Yeah, 4 next week. What do you think of Ghost Machine doing the Marvel DC books? I don't think Ghost Machine is doing the Marvel DC books. So the Superman, Spider-Man, and the Spider-Man, Superman. And me and Paul talked about this a little bit. Just like we just had the Batman, Deadpool, Batman thing where Marvel sends one out and it's a collection of short stories of the universe crossing over. And then the following month, DC does one. I don't think that these are 2 separate camps of people creating these stories. What it looks like is I think that the creatives all are coming together. Like if the internet wasn't a thing, they had to meet in person. They all met on the same day for whatever comes out in the Diamond, or not Diamond, but the Penguin one, whatever comes out on the Lunar one. But it looks like Metzger and Jeff Johns, their story are going to be in the one that's distributed by Penguin. I don't know how much it's a Marvel or DC thing. It's just, this is one cooperative project. So it really doesn't matter which distributor sends the book out. It's all kind of just the same thing because they don't work at DC anymore either. They're exclusive at Ghost Machine. So I think it's kind of cool that they're getting it. The biggest problem I see with it is Brad Meltzer is doing one, and we still haven't gotten First Ghost yet. We've been waiting to get First Ghost from Ghost Machine for a long time now. When's that going to happen? But I'm not saying that in any negative time away. I'm just excited for it. Ready to see it. We'll see what happens. But Superman, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Superman. I wish they would fix the name issue because I think that messed up a lot of people. And Lunar's getting the first release of this one because I think Penguin got the first release of the last one. But a lot of people, just like normies and casuals, they didn't realize that they're two separate things. They didn't realize. They think, oh, I got this book last month. Are these just different covers for it? Nope. All different stories, all different creatives, all that. Dude, yeah, definitely pop by Friday anytime. Dude, disagreeing's fun. Power Rangers, Ninja Air Troopers, Air Troopers. Yeah, a lot of that stuff this week. This is what we need. More printings of Superman 75. Such a hard book to find. Yeah, I've got think about all the printings just stacked over there. The cool thing with all the subsequent printings of that, as well as Man of Steel 18, is the trade dress changes colors on each one of them. Subtle differences. They have the Roman numerals, but the trade dress will be different colors. Fandom turned ugly in the mid-2010s when Marvel MCU fans trolled DCU fans online like competing sports team. Real comic book fans watch both to be good, just like the books. Oh, man, it's always been like that in comics. But, yeah, I got, man, you had a lot of people enter the comic book character fandom through the MCU. What's the best TP to get for the whole Death of Superman story? I got this one in arm's reach. This is the exclusive one that they did with this Ivan Reese cover for being an Ultra Tier member on the DC Universe app some years ago. I don't know if it was called Ultra Tier at that point, but you can find tons of different ones. You can find a whole bunch. This is the 30th anniversary deluxe edition that was put out by the DC Universe app themselves. So they've sent me a couple of different things, but I like this one because it's a little bit bigger size. So I ended up keeping it instead of passing it on or getting rid of it. No, this is another one they sent me, one of these deluxe edition ones, slightly bigger size. I see where they just released that crazy massive absolute hardback edition of it. But pretty much any of them are good, man. You could probably go to any second time around bookstore and get one for like $10 and get the story. As long as you can read it, that's what matters. Black Spider, what is going on? My understanding, Ghost Machine got a contract to do an ongoing Marvel DC. I haven't seen that. That's pretty cool. I'll go check it out, see what I can find. Restore the Andre Romero DC animated universe. That's something I get behind 1,000%. It's called the DC animated universe, DCAU. That was just like the greatest era, the absolute greatest era. About to sneeze again. Matt, weren't we talking about the DC animated universes this past weekend? Disney Star Wars' own problem. All the Disney gets, they deserve it and have brought it on themselves. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. Dude, it's crazy. I used to be the biggest Star Wars fan. I'm apathetic towards Star Wars, toward the MCU at this point. I still got polybagged multiple signed Soup 75 line around here somewhere. There you go. I got a handful of the Death and Return. They're really cool. Thankfully, Star Trek fans and Star Wars fans never disagree. On a separate note, do you watch fan edits? Absolutely not. Fan fix their favorite movies by restoring deleted scenes and trimming weak scenes. Batman Forever is a great example of a film that has many fan edits. Not at all. They just need to release the Schumacher cut. That would be cool. I've followed that movement for a long time as well. Doesn't really have much steam, but I want to see that Nightmare Bat footage and the darker tones to it and everything. But fan edits have always been a big, not doing that for me. I don't know. It's kind of like, I think maybe the trailers ruined it. How you get all the fake trailers and stuff. I don't know. I was talking about the DC Animated Universe Justice League, which was some of the best writing on television, period. Yeah, it was great, dude. Chip, where's Chip? Where's Chip? Oh, I missed him. Afternoon to Mark and the fine people in the chat. And, Taylor as well, I guess. Yeah, what's going on, Chip? We got Steven with the C dropping another $2 super chat. One more to go, and we're getting to the end here as well. Joffrey Castro, what is going on, homie? So, yeah, let's get ready to get this rocking and rolling. Let me show off the giveaway again. Giving away these fine books here, the Batman Annual 2025. That was all the rage. The Daniel Warren Johnson second print foil cover. Boom. Out this week. as well as this week's issue of Titan, covered by Derek Chu, featuring Grail right there with Donna Troy under her boot. And we're, what is it, one super chat away? Yeah, he said one super chat away from the bonus prizes, which means we're throwing in the extra card stickers and 4 additional books if we hit that. Let me, where's the one that I need? Is it this one?
More blood. Don't get it.
There we go. We're throwing in the bonuses. So we got a whole stack then. Going with a stack of them. Coming your way. So, yeah, this will include some books from 1990, the early 2000, what is that, 2017. Some Brian Hitch art on that one. Some newer stuff. What is this one? Galaxy Science variant covered by Jay Anceletto. Oh, yeah, some 1980s. So 80s, 90s, 2000s, and more going in now with all the bonus stuff. To one winner. And let's get this giveaway tool going. Let's share this tab instead. What's the hashtag going to be, chat? Where's it at? Who's calling it? Who's calling the hashtag for today? Where's my hashtag? Waiting on someone to give me the hashtag. Dude, I know. I'm going to do the hashtag today. This will be fun. All right, big shout out to the homie who hung out in the chat today, Integrity 101. This hashtag is for you, homie. We're showing some love in here today. There we go. That right on time. There's my alarm. Hashtag for today. Drop that hashtag, get your name in, and your chance to win these books for today. DCAU was great, 1000%. I don't respect fake nerds. I've been very vocal about the comics going back to the subculture and out of the mainstream. I don't know, man. I've grown up around comic books my entire life. They were in my room in my toy boxes before I can read and walk. Just growing up in a household with a father who's collected comics, they've never not felt mainstream to me. They've never felt subculture. I've gone my whole life having superhero merchandise and t-shirts when you couldn't just go buy them at Walmart. We were getting graffiti tees out of preview magazines from the time I was a child. And I as a kid who had those things, who would go into toy aisles in the late 80s, early 90s and already see superheroes everywhere, who had them on their television growing up as a kid, it never felt subculture. It didn't feel like pop culture, but it felt like culture all the same, not subculture. So I'm a big fan of anybody that likes it liking it. But because I'm such a fan of arguing, I guess I welcome everybody. You know what I mean? I just don't ever think it was subculture. Comics were never underground. You know, Superman's been popular since 1938. Batman's been popular since 1938. You know, these were never subculture. You had silver screen pictures featuring Captain Marvel, Superman, Captain America, Batman, Robin, Green Hornet, the Phantom as early as 1940. And it's never stopped. Ever. As soon as televisions were invented, they're like, quick, get me Superman on here, stat. Superman, how are we going to get Superman on the television? I don't know. Go to the radio guy who has Superman on the radio already before televisions and just tell him to come over here. Like, they've never been subculture. They've never been non-present. When I hear people say, I'm just glad we're getting something rather than nothing, because I remember when we used to not get this stuff. No one alive today has ever lived a single day of their life where they didn't have superhero stuff about to release or just released in some form or fashion. Might not have got it in the frequency or with the budget or this or that, but there's always been superhero stuff galore. From the Fleischer Brothers Superman cartoon to the 60s Marvel era with the Captain America and Iron Man and the Fantastic Four. Then you get into the 70s when they launched the live action stuff with Captain America, Spider-Man, Hulk, the Doctor Strange movie. Then you get into the 80s, you get to the Ruby Spears Superman. We've already passed the Super Friends. You have the 60s Spider-Man. It's been everywhere our whole lives. The difference is some people just started caring recently, which is fine. That's awesome that they started caring, but it's always been here. It has always been here forever. Not a single one of us had to suffer through an era where we couldn't watch a cartoon, a TV show, and a movie, all three in our lifetime, of numerous different superheroes. It's just always been there. I think we should be accepting of any fans, casual or not, into the hobby, or else this hobby we might love die. We could definitely, like, on the face, I agree. On the face, I agree. Now, what if you have like a used car man seller kind of person who comes in and just absolutely wrecks the hobby with their bad practices and their terrible outlook toward it? Like, you can have toxicity in the fandom and can ruin it. Like, what if you have someone like, oh, I like Superman. That's cool. Let me get into my scamming business in the comic book hobby. Like, you got to be able to weed out bad actors, though. You can't just like, oh, I'm in an attempt to be nice to everybody, let me allow these bad things to happen to me, my friends, or the fandom. Like, it's not one or the other. You know, there's the common sense aspect to it as well. You know what I mean? But like gatekeeping, just cause, no, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Yeah, but that's my point. You just need to wait for the Schumacher cut. Why did you have that reaction? 90% of the Schumacher cut is already available. Just watch the publicly available edits. No, hard pass. I'd rather see the Schumacher edit. It's all filmed. So that's the thing. Dude, I don't know if you saw it or not. You see where they tried to do that screening of it in LA and it got shut down by Warner Brothers. That's my thing. I don't get why Warner Brothers, and not just Warner Brothers, but any company, like, why wouldn't they just like, yeah, you know what? Release a on digital, on a streaming platform, that cut of the movie. Costs us no extra if someone else has already edited it or put it together. But it isn't like they're going to muddy the water or anything. Like, they already do theatrical and director's cuts. Like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? Like, just release this stuff. Like, how isn't that just like already a given? We went through an entire like 18 years where the formula was, make me a movie from a studio level. I'm going to demand you edit it down by 20 minutes. And then when we get a second sales life on physical media, we're going to give them back that 20 minutes. So you get to go pay to see it in the theater. You think you liked it? Well, guess what? You didn't even see the whole movie, because if you buy our Blu-ray, you can see the rest of the movie with the extended director's uncensored, unrated cut. So why don't they just keep doing that? That was such a winning formula. Such a winning formula. I remember having the old Spider Car toy and cried when I lost it. Oh, dude, that's awesome and sucks. That's awesome and sucks. I'm watching 70 Spider-Man live action show right now, and it was on primetime CBS when I was a kid, when there were only 3 networks. Shout out to the electric company too. Always had superhero stuff. And then we had superheroes that didn't wear tights, like Bionic Woman, $6 Million Man, Man from Atlantis. Yeah. Yep. I think Joe wants to win. I think he does. Yeah. What's up? Got here just in time. What is going on, Corbon? Not much. I don't think I can hashtag sufficiently to be competitive in this contest of champions. Yeah, the funny part is Joe is fully aware. Joe is fully aware that it only takes one. He just does it for fun. He just does it for fun. He knows his name is already in the hat. It's not a competition of who puts it in the most. If you put it in once, you're good. I like turtles. Yeah, me too, man. I actually have 2 pet turtles. 2 of them. All right, let's see how many names it's collected. It's got 33 names, 50 people watching. Get your chance. Joe, do me a favor. Stop putting in the hashtag for a second. If you have already put in the hashtag one time or not at all, put the hashtag in one more time, because it has picked up 33 unique entries. We're sure it's got you, Joe. We are sure. But everybody else, throw it in there one more time. The immortal Biggie Sheik. What is happening, man? The immortal Biggie Shaq is here too. Good to see you, brother. Spider-Man live action TV show was not the electric company. It was about an hour in an episode. I'm very, very, very aware. Very aware. Was it Nicholas Hammond who played him in the TV show? Not on the Electric Company. The Electric Company was the first live action Spider-Man, though. It predated the TV show. Copy and paste, yeah. Why do you appear to be so against watching an improv version of Batman Forever just because it's made by a fan? That's what I'm saying. Most of the Schumacher cut changes are available now. Dude, because I don't care about fan edits. Nothing against them. I just don't care. Like, it just doesn't, like, maybe it's because it's a time constraint thing. Like, you're kind of new. I think it's the first time we've talked. Yeah, I've got 3 kids ranging from kindergarten to freshman in college. I got a business that I run. I get this YouTube channel I do for fun. I have this stack of books I'm trying to read. While today, like, I'm already watching my clock to time it out right to get my kid off the bus, snacked up, changed for karate. Like, I got so much running and gunning I do all the time that it's laborsome to try to keep up with the stuff that brings me joy to say, like, relevant on. Like, so now it's like the new Game of Thrones show that I'll fit in that half hour into between the cracks, a Starfleet show. I managed to get in that stupid Running Man movie last week, which was a total regret. That was 2 hours I'll never get back. But it's just a time constraint thing. Like, I don't have time to sit around and watch fan edits. Nothing against them, but it's kind of like with the comics. Like, I get selective with the DC I read. If I don't feel like your book is like relative to the continuity of the universe, it automatically starts getting on the chopping block for me. Like that goofy Superman Unlimited book, like, so mad at that book for not being relevant. But it's nothing against fan edits, but what's there to do with them? You know what I mean? For me, it's not adding to the mythos. It's a fan edit. It's like fan fiction. That's like saying, why don't you read all these fan fiction Superman books? Well, taking up my time reading the canon ones. Nothing against them. Nothing against my oldest sends me like little social media edits from like Avatar and stuff that she thinks cool, or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia that's funny, but those are only a couple seconds long. I can watch those. Happy to watch those. And there was live action on Electric Company, but only a few. Yeah. Oh, good to know. I didn't understand, huh? Yeah. Just one and done. One and done. But yeah, I'm sure they're good. I'm sure they're fun and everything. Just I don't have anything, inherently against them. Just yeah, it did get Taylor that one time. It really did. That was hilarious. So one time, for those that are new, Joe was doing that, and our good buddy in the chat, Taylor, made a comment to him right as I was spinning the wheel, and Joe ended up being the winner. So Taylor's criticism of the tactic was on the screen when Joe's name hit. It was really funny. It was a universe moment for sure. Oh no, you're good, homie. I like it. I like that they did it that way. It's amazing. I'm gonna watch some of his recent fan made Star Wars I keep hearing about. Is it a certain person who's doing the edits? Is it a certain person that you're recommending I check out the edits? I think the clips Batman Forever and can also imagine what. I just want to see the actual thing. Titanic was time I'll never get back, but it was nice to nap in the air conditioner that summer. Yeah, I like Titanic a lot. I'm a James Cameron fan. So now this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is when I was watching fan stuff. So what he's referring to is Batman Predator Dead End. It was Batman, Joker, Alien, Predator. I think it's like 13-minute long. It was an actual movie back in the infancy days of YouTube. They would do like fan-made trailers before we even had these this extent of characters and movies and stuff for DC, Marvel. They would do these little miniature movies. There's this website called antimattermultiverse.com. They would take all these things off the internet and burn them onto a CD where you can actually buy them. The Roger Corman copy of Fantastic Four, like the first place I found it on disc, antimattermultiverse.com. The 90s Captain America live action movie, the Italian Red Skull that I knew about and watched growing up in the 90s because of my dad. We upgraded a lot of our VHS to disc those days, but I remember Batman Predator Dead End from, I think it was like 2005, like when I first saw that. But yeah, I'm afraid fan fiction will take over. It could, very well. All right, let's get ready to spin this thing. I think I've gotten down. Love Always Sunny. Yeah, exactly. Roscoe sends me clips from that. I think you're misunderstanding me. You said you wanted the Schumacher cut. That would require significant changes to the current theatrical release. Most of those changes have been made already. Do the people making the fan cuts have access to the footage that was not included? So the Schumacher cut isn't a re-edit of the movie. It's some scenes out, some never before scenes put into it and built back up. So again, dude, you figure out how to DM me on a social media platform because I'd love to continue the conversation because I know that a lot gets lost in the chat because of the lag time and all that stuff and bouncing from one topic to another. So I apologize. I'm not sorry, but I apologize on my end for that because I don't control YouTube. But yeah, I would love to talk more about it for sure. And I'll take a look at some of the stuff. But unless you are in possession of the footage, you're incapable of making a Schumacher cut. You have to be in possession of Schumacher's script and the footage and the ability to edit it together. Otherwise, you're making your own cut. Yeah, that's my stance on that. Bat in the Sun. Yeah, Aaron did a bunch of those things. I don't know. I honestly don't know, Scott. We got a little bit last weekend, a little bit. It just kind of rained and then drizzled a little bit. All right, let's spin this thing. Y'all know the rules. You know how it goes. It's free shipping worldwide if you're a channel member in the Legion tier. It's free shipping in the United States if you are not a channel member in the Legion tier. So you do have to be a subscriber to win. So if you're a subscriber or a supporter, it's free shipping in the United States. If you are international, it's up to you. You can either prize tag somebody in the chat, or I can give you a $10 shipping credit and you can pay the difference. 100% up to you. Antimatter Multiverse was the website. Yep, that was the name of the website. Antimattermultiverse.com. .com. A better way to word it would be that although you are right, superheroes have been in the mainstream, it was subculture to continually follow, read, comics, collect from childhood into adulthood. I don't know if you're using the word subculture the way that I like when I hear subculture, that almost is like a standing for underground. It wasn't underground at all. That's like saying like Pokemon was subculture in the 90s and 2000s. It wasn't. Just there was less people that did it. You know, like I didn't picture holding my comic book when I was a kid like I was like B Rabbit and 8 Mile and this comic book read off with my friends underground. Like it wasn't subculture. Go to Six Flags. Subculture doesn't have theme parks in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like Gotham, when they built Gotham out at Six Flags, was the Michael Keaton era. It can't be subculture, right? Like this is like a whole nother conversation about like when I hear people say, oh, the Iron Man movie turned Robert Downey Jr., his portrayal turned Iron Man into took a B-list character, made him an A-lister. I'm like, oof, Iron Man's been A-list forever. He might have not have been in your household's conversations. He might not have been a poster on your wall, but I don't know. Boom. Thank you, T-Dubs. Marcus busy eating his mom's spaghetti. Subculture. Who? These nuts. All right, let's spin this. No, it's an old site, man. Old site. This was literally 20 years ago now. Literally. But me and Pops ordered stuff off there and got I still have some of the discs today. But that's where we got disc versions of a lot of stuff that you couldn't previously get on disc. I don't have any of the DVDs in here. It's all just the Blu-ray and 4K in this room. I'm looking in the C's for Captain America to see if a tall case was sticking up. Except for the Hulk stuff, I kind of took out all the DVDs that were in here because I need more shelves. So I had to just leave just the high def stuff. Punisher Dirty Laundry is awesome. Thomas Jane is awesome. Oh, there you go. There's Pops. The guy who ran it passed away. That's terrible. Yeah, dude, Scotty's on it. I've known Iron Man since the 70s with my Migo. Dude, right? Yeah, nerds and geeks. And here's a cool thing. If you're into comic book stuff, you are still considered nerds and geeks. But it just doesn't come with the same weight that those terms used to have. The term remains the same. It still has the same application. It just doesn't have as much negative connotation. Still nerds and geeks. I challenge anybody. When did this stuff pop off? 2008. MCU rolled into the scene. Challenge anyone. Just go look up photos from comic conventions from before 2008. They're still massive. Still massive. All right. Let's spin this thing. Yeah, this off screen. Yeah, a lot of people weren't. All right. Good luck to everybody. Good luck. We'll see if we'll get the Snyderverse restored with that many hashtags. Faith and Misery. Big congrats. Big congrats, homie. Yeah, just shoot me a message remind me of the address. The messages get buried and stuff. This stack of 6 books, trading card stickers, and stuff is coming your way. We have the sealed pack of hero cards, but I did pull the Kyle Rayner DC Masterworks. What are these called? What is it? Master what? Skybox Masters in the dark side, since it's kind of on brand with the stuff from today. Dark side and Kyle going in there. Going to Faith and Misery. Congrats to you. Boo. I mean, congrats. Yeah, dude. Shoot me a message. We'll get it rocking and rolling. I've got a lot of stuff to package and send out. I had to get a whole box of mailers again. Y'all see, I'm going to make a video on this thing I've been working on for about a month and a half now. But I got some work to do, so hopefully I'll get all these boxed up. Today's a weird schedule. Maybe today, but definitely by the end of the week for sure. Should have about 8 packages to go out. Surprise some folks. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming by and hanging out. This was fun. Definitely fun. I'm going to go get ready to get the kids, get them fed, and get ready for karate. Hit that like button on your way out. Yeah, that'd be cool. Hey, do me a favor. Watch the video from yesterday. Dude, the algorithm is so weird. I'll have a video hit 2,000 views in a couple of days, and I'll have a video that it won't even get 100 views until after 3 or 4 days. But, hey, check out my video from yesterday because, again, I like to argue and debate. It's a really fun one. It's a really, really fun one. It's asking, why doesn't that rich SOB Bruce Wayne spend more money to fix the social economic issues of Gotham City? He's got all that money. Why doesn't he give it to the needy people? I keep hearing people say that. Keep hearing people talk about that in passing, and it makes me wonder if they even read comics. So I made a video about it, and it was really fun to make. So I hope you guys check out that video. Yo, whoever, golly, Integrity 101, shoot me a message, homie. Try to get that X message through or whatever. Follow me or something on there. I'll follow you back. See if I can't message you or something. I'll figure it out. We'll check out some of those fan edits. And until next time, as always, we are Legion.
You are who you choose to be.